Welcome everyone to another very special episode of the World Stone Keep. This show we're going to be going over some B-roll footage and anything we missed in the last show that we did. The last show we did was episode 30, where I got back from the media event, the Diablo 3 media event from Blizzard, and we just gushed for 2 hours on all the crazy amounts of information we got. New systems, old systems, broken systems, skill systems, everything pretty much, and the auction house. But there is some points we kind of missed in that last show and some areas we need to go into further detail on because, I mean, one show to go through all that is just not enough. But the bulk of this episode is going to be devoted to going over the B-roll footage. We got a little flash drive at the Diablo 3 media event with some screenshots and B-roll footage. This one's about 7 minutes long, I believe, around there. So we're going to be talking about that. We're probably going to go through it once or twice, maybe even 3 times. With me on the show, Jordan, Ken, and Dan, the usuals. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
What's going on? Hello. I just can't even wait. I'm so excited.
There's some new footage we're going over in here, and we've all watched it previously.
New spells.
Let's say our names and our favorite part that we're gonna watch coming up here.
I'm Dan,
geez.
and I'm interested in the monk stuff because the monk is the greatest class ever. Sorry to break it to you, Ken.
Fool.
Nice.
No, you're wrong.
I'm Jordan. I have to agree on the monk, but I really liked those little flaming dart arrow things from the demon hunter, and their epic guided arrow piercing effect, and all of that wonderful stuff.
Excellent. Ken.
Wow. Well, yeah, I'm Ken. So actually what I'm most excited about, since I don't need to prove that the wizard's the best, I mean, it's easy to see. I'm mostly just excited about new spells we haven't seen before, all of the new little, some that we have that are rune that we haven't seen before. I love seeing
That's right.
stuff. So there's a ton of stuff I'm giddy about right now.
And I'm Joe, your host, and I'm most excited about the Witch Doctor stuff. I got to play that one, and he was probably the favorite one I played up there at Blizzard, and he's got some new skills to show off in this one that we're going to check out. And so let's get into it. Everybody got your fingers on the play button? Let's start in 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh, that logo. I love that logo. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Starting out with the barb, I believe. Yep, there he is. Killing some goat men. I didn't get to fight any of those.
Got himself a nice flanged
Seismic
mace.
slam.
Got a couple axes.
Gee, didn't
going
see
here.
that trap coming.
The bodies on the ground.
Walking trees.
Just love, he smashes them and he goes flying and parts of him falls off the edge.
See, now that right there, that they've got cheats
Yeah.
on. That seismic slam just one shot that entire
Or maybe
pack.
that's just how he
Not
rolls.
to mention, not to mention.
No, that's just the barbarian.
You see, look, he just casts them all kind of willy nilly. Must not have too high a cost, or he's been beating the heck out of stuff for a while there.
Witch Doctor.
New skill there, the spider.
Yeah, we've been.
Little spiders around him, right? He's doing
Right.
AoE. It doesn't look like the spider itself actually
That's
attacks
right.
anything. You can hear it. He just walks beside them.
And you can kind of hear the hit noise when it stands next to them.
Yeah.
And there's
like-
another new skill. Zombie
What a-
stage dive.
What on earth is that?
Stage diving zombies.
I have no idea.
They know how to rock and roll like it's the 90s. Nirvana's
It's
back.
pretty fantastic.
All right, here is our hex section because that you could actually see the chickens transform out
Yep.
in the field there.
Did you notice the little
So is that the
the little
giant
snake
toad?
he's running around with in his hand? Offhand weapon, or offhand item, I should say.
No, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
we'll catch it through the
pretty,
next
This
time.
part's depressing. Alright, and teleport and put up slow time and then run back to magic missile. Come on. Boring.
Yeah, there's kind of no reason to put up slow time there. There's no ranged characters there.
No.
Trying to.
People want to see
Right
slow
here.
time.
Two ruined things really nice. What this spell is
I really like
See,
that
the
electrocute.
disintegrate that has 2 beams instead of 1, but like, is it electrocute or charge bolt? That's what
There's
I
like,
wanna know.
did you guys notice those little pool of lava that sprouts up around the wizard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
are those the wizard
Yeah.
or are those
I have
the
no
enemy?
idea because we see another class coming up. I think it's the monk where that happens too. So it may be a ruined ability, like it adds it to an ability, depending on what it is.
Or it
What's
could just
this,
be one of the enemies they're fighting, like that's their attack, is it causes the
Right.
pool of lava.
Right.
For all these blue arrows, like, there's fan of knives there, which looks sweet, but what's all these blue arrows? What spell is that?
Super rapid fire too.
I think that's rapid fire. Is that
Really?
rapid fire?
Oh, that's
Joe
awesome.
was you got to play the Demon Hunter, and rapid fire would have been.
I didn't actually get to play rapid fire, but they demonstrated it during the big presentation they had at the beginning, and that it could be rapid fire, but the one they showed off was just like a straight line of red arrows, and it was just like hundreds of arrows they were launching out at the same time. So it very well could be, but the one I saw was red.
Oh yeah.
Rapid fire.
Look at that monk.
Look at how long it's. Mikhail, like 4 guys. Monk.
Yeah.
You just knock the back some more.
I think that was the extended range skill you saw, just kind of shooting out in 3 directions. One of the,
like distant strike or extended reach track. Crap, I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Bell.
Come on, Joe. Chime in anytime.
Sorry, my computer crashed. I just got it back up. That was going off memory. But yeah, the monk that had like a pretty cool ability that they showed off in the demo, where he takes his staff and he spins it in front of him really fast, and it allows him to like charge through stuff and knock enemies out of his way. So that's kind of like one of his escape skills.
People said she was a witch.
It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a lot
I think that
of
was,
knockback.
if I remember from listening to the presentation, that was the new version of Impenetrable Defense, where he spins
Yeah,
his
yeah,
staff
yeah.
and- rather than the, I mean, I guess the original version it was staff spinning as well, but you were
Right.
stationary and
Hitting stuff back.
Nice little charge
See,
punch.
this is where the monk's actually doing some winning. Yeah, the charge punches.
Winning.
You can see very
Ooh, the wretched
distinctly
mother.
the,
That one that was
naked.
like kind of walking away from the fight. That wretched mother, she pukes
Yeah.
on the ground, and zombies crawl out of her puke. It is
Yeah.
disgustingly fantastic. There's actually a quest where you have to go and take
I
some
love
of them
when
out.
after they kill like a group of guys, you see both characters like running in a circle, picking up all the loot the other guy
Yeah.
can't see. I could see there being a time where you're just like standing there watching your ally run around in a circle, and you're like, what are you doing?
This is King Leorc's dungeon. He actually like pops up in various places, and he'll like lock gates or make a bridge collapse so you can't go any further. Stuff like that.
Look at those flame bolts. And they actually go through the first target, change directions to the
Mhm.
second target. Make that nice little cool thud sound. Up, demon
I love how
babies.
she's
Yep,
like-
there's the demon babies.
I love the dual wield crossbow. Yeah, there they are.
And they actually are naked. I think they come up at another shot right around here.
Yeah, they come up right here.
Yeah, the dual crossbows was actually, I favored them over the single bow. I found a bow that was pretty powerful, but I tend to favor the dual crossbows because the firing rate was quicker, and it just seemed like I was doing more damage and casting more spells. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
I like that firebolt that when it hits, it like seeks other
Mhm.
guys out. Really like how fan of knives
Yeah.
looks too.
It's really cool.
That's it's pretty rad.
That bola shot
Still
is
not
very
a fan
handy.
of bullet shot.
It was pretty
Why?
handy, I have to admit. Especially in
There's
groups,
the-
if you shoot it on the right guy, it just pops them. Awesome.
So that seems to be a Frost Nova right there. Has knockback effect, slows everything down.
Oh, there was something that just happened there. He did a wave of force, and it knocked all of the the fence blew up too. I
Yeah.
like that. It's just like fine little detail that this is like actually a world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love that.
There's so many destructible things in the game.
And like it doesn't hurt anybody. You know, it's not like an event or anything. It's just cool.
Yep.
I fence.
If you notice earlier on when the Demon Hunter's playing, you actually see a bowler shot fly off and hit a stump and blow it up to reveal treasure.
Yep. That was actually one of the handy things. Rather than smashing every barrel by hand, you know, you could just cast like an damage spell and all of them at the same time.
Way better than Diablo 2 system.
Yeah.
Run over. Kick. Okay.
Everyone trapped like 100. All the room stuff. What these are doing? Like, what was that room disintegrate doing?
Oh, I'd assume, like, so guess-wise and what speculation-wise, I would say, so the room disintegrate seems pretty good. That's just the higher damage version of it.
Right.
But it's two smaller beams instead of one big one.
Splits. You know, the splits for
What different disintegrates runes did to them.
Subject to change.
I was gonna say, most likely it's changed 4 or 5 times since you read that, though.
Yeah, they were very clear on that point. Everything is subject to change. They're still playing around with skills. Okay, yeah, I'm re-looking at the video, and it does look like that. Those little lava pits are mob cast, so nothing from the wizard. Actually, look like the skeletons cast them.
Yeah.
Alright, we want to watch it again? Let's give it a beginning.
Alright.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! I love the body parts. Look at the body parts.
I do like how they don't just stand up, they swirl into action.
There's this little sound effect with it, like, whoosh.
Yeah.
The things that get me is when they come up and the barb like turns to his left and he turns his backhands that one and just flies in all different directions. And this giant hammer. Look at the size of it.
I love that hammer. It's so impractical.
I'm telling you.
It's like a blocky 80s, you know, action movie kind of hammer, like Conan the Barbarian, like a 70s.
Snake!
You can also see the zombies up in the top left eating the body.
Yep. The icing on top is just like it sounds when we cast the spell. So the things he says,
that totem there, like it's a bunch of little fetishes.
it is. It is Diablo 2 activate fetishes straight up, and there's actually a couple different ones that do. I had them during the presentation. I don't remember.
You could tell that he actually had two different types there, because one had 2 standing on top of one another. The other one was so one option X one, I'm not pretty sure.
I think he's got one with things that are killed within that area, like restores life and mana to the witch doctor.
Your
Like,
mother's
so it does
secrets are
damage
here.
to anything in
He
that
said she
circle,
was a witch,
but it also
but I never believed it.
because you see when things die, these like ghosts come out.
Those are the dune threshers or whatever.
Yeah.
The ones that he was talking about.
Yeah. Focus. They focus their attacks more on ranged characters. Oh, look at that!
What was with the giant ninja stars there?
Fun.
I don't know. That was a skill we hadn't seen before.
What it was, but it annihilated him. You also notice the big fat guy there? Whenever he attacks, these sections within the sutures actually poke out of his body.
Yeah, like spikes that come out. He has a couple different attacks. He has one where he just like leans back and swipes you with his hands. He looks like a bloated starfish. And then he has one where he pops out his stomach.
I feel better now.
There's actually a character when you notice the monk attacking that he's not a
You can tell that.
Did he kill the single token yet?
So that's because the monk is
Wait,
so
here comes
awesome
the
that
bell.
they didn't have to cheat for his.
Give him infinite resources.
Yeah, well, look, even if he's at the right level that he's supposed to be,
No, this is a level.
he's a wizard.
Did you notice the palm effect over that? Palm technique, considering it had that animation.
So now I like this.
We're
This goes into
we're
glory
looking-
with
Yeah, this is Adria's representative down here. This is under her little pet from Act 1 in Diablo. From Diablo 1, rather.
Oh, so that's how she got all those scrolls. She could actually go into the dungeon. That makes sense.
Completely over.
Half corpses crawling towards you.
You know what? Like this female monk is ripping. I think that's the problem. The male monk is just a wimp.
I think he was fighting slightly more difficult targets.
That red, like, pistol blast, that was one of the defensive skills. Like, if an enemy's close to you and you're firing that off, you'll actually do, like, a backflip away from them. And that's actually a really cool spell. It has, like, a sound effect that you're shooting off an old flintlock pistol or something like that. It sounds just like a little cannon blast. It's really cool. Really cool spell to use. Yeah. It's the only one that was using discipline. Demon babies!
Discipline worker.
I'm the great Cornelio!
That spot there was the best shot of that arrow where it like hit spot.
Did you guys see?
Shot.
Did you,
Sweet.
did you see that corpse slide all the way to the top corner? Just continue, so it went just all the way off screen,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Oh, that was nice. Those guys' shields actually work very well if you try and shoot them from the front. That's right, that's Cormac right there. Which he doesn't look like that when you first get him. But yeah, he was definitely useful when I was playing the Demon Hunter. He was tanking a lot of stuff for me.
taking one for the team like a champ.
That's right. Thank you, Cormac.
Just
I don't know. I have to go back.
So he wasn't there, and then all of a sudden he just jumped out of that hole.
Oh, yeah, he totally did. Goatman hole.
But no, they came underground. They don't exactly
Now we
look
know
like
where they live.
creatures.
Interesting. So yeah, there's the second playthrough of the video. See, I got a little list here. Vile Mother, combied her.
He could have been looking first.
Shared stash. Oh, one thing we didn't mention about the shared stash in the last episode was in order to get all the free spaces, all the massive amounts of storage, you actually have to pay for more space. So it works kind of like a gold sink, obviously. The higher you get, the more space it'll take, and the more money it'll take. So it's a gold sink.
Kind of already had this idea a long time ago with bags in the game, but definitely didn't think about it in terms of the stash. So that's interesting.
Yeah. We also had a question that we didn't answer. You're still going to check if the weapons and offhand items are mandatory. And you can barehand if you want to. You don't have to use weapons. I guess somebody was concerned about barehanded monk build they had to try out. And yeah, you can totally go barehanded if you want. Just punch things with your fists.
That chick looked pretty barehanded a lot of that time.
Yeah, well, they have like fist weapons and stuff for the monk.
No, her hands glowed.
One thing that kind of looked over the system. That's, we don't really know much about. Which, say you get an item plus 30% increased attack, just random stuff like that. On that 50, you'll be able to sink some gold into it and try and roll for a higher value until eventually that stat gets to the perfect, which is 50%. You'll be able to do that I'm pretty sure.
I love that because, you know, you get a really nice item, it's like, oh well, it would be better, like, you know, it's a controlled way, it's adding a little bit of player control into the randomness, that if you
Your
find
mother's
something
secrets
nice,
are
you're
here.
not,
People
you know,
said she was
you
a
can
witch,
actually just go out
but I
and look
never
for something
believed
that
it.
has the right stat, and then just slowly shake it up.
Right? And they also said, like, when you do that, it will never decrease. So it's not like a real risk factor to try to do
it'll
it.
increase by like a random
Percentage. Little chickens. Yeah, that's what one of the... Sorry, I'm rewatching the video. That's what one of the little totem dudes do. Which turns offset a certain radius of chickens.
Previous information. There's a question and then you know did something to have fire on it. Which one would it actually proc off of? And didn't they say that the only actual elemental effect would
the only way to get elemental effects is for it to spawn, right? So like regenerate.
Yeah, so you'll never have like... And I think the actual question they asked was, if I'm dual wielding, say like an electric one and a fire one, which one is it gonna take? Because he said it'll switch between the two. So
I feel
if you hit
better
one
now.
with electric, it'll electrocute him, and then if you hit one with fire, it'll and so
Yeah, that dual wielding works the way you'd think it would, is that whichever weapon they swing with the attack is the one that applies the effect.
Yep.
Alright.
And one system we need to do some more justice to, because I was editing the show, and I think we need to go more into depth, is the skill system. Because it's really hard to illustrate how much you'll be able to customize your character, and just how many varying combinations there are to each class with this new system, and what they're doing. It's really something you need like hands-on experience and mess around with, because if you think about how many skills there are in the game, and then 5 runes change in very different ways, and not to mention the skills that you choose, how they interact with one another, play off one another, I mean, it's just an extremely huge amount of customization. That plus, you know, augmented with your gear and everything, so it really opens the door to really finding crazy builds that, you know, may seem nuts. Plague of Toads, just really focusing on Plague of Toads and stuff that can support that. That's just like one little tiny branched off area of a build that you can do. And the example that they used was the battle mage. And we went into one skill, but they were also talking about like diamond skill, how I don't remember exactly what they said. But anyways, there's like a melee skill too for the wizard, and it was like
The spectral blades.
spectral blades. That's right.
Spectral blades.
Yeah, they were talking about that, and how that's really like an up close skill. And when you're using that for a battle wizard, there's a rune that augments it to where it'll be lifesteal. So it's to help you stay up in the fight and in combat, because you'll be getting life back with every hit.
Yeah, and that one I actually found really interesting.
You want me to give the rundown of them?
Go ahead.
Well, it was okay. You had Spectral Blade, which is like rune to give lifesteal. Rune to make a orb circle around you dead. The Storm Armor, which was runed to reduce the amount of damage things took. So there's a lot of up-close melee damaging stuff, that returning damage, dealing damage, just being near the very different that wizard would normally play.
Right. And this is just one build. You said there's multiple ways to do a battle mage. I mean, those are just a few skills. I mean, and a few runes at that. So times that with all the skills and all the runes and all the different combinations. I mean, there's just tons of ways. And it's all about messing around and finding out what works. That's what
I do have a big question though about this runing question that we're kind of talking about. So, how many skills can you have at any time?
6. So it's whatever active skills you have.
So it is 6, and you can't have every single skill ruined.
Right, because you can't have every single skill out at the same time. So when you go to switch the skill out and the new one comes in, I assume the rune will pop into there. I'm not exactly sure.
How do you do that in account? You can only switch skills in, or can you switch them? Can I do it on the fly?
Yeah, you can switch skills while you're out there in the environment. So when you're out, my point was, when you're out there fighting, you don't have to stop fighting. Say, oh, I leveled up, I got a new skill, I'm gonna try it out right now. You just pick one of the skills you want to switch it out with and test it out right there. Again, it's no more worrying about, do I want to put the skill point in this? No, I don't think so. You just bring up your skill window and do it right then and there.
Because
How does that apply to
now my concern with that is that okay. One of my concerns is, are you putting the rune in the skills themselves, or are you putting the rune in your skill? So like, do I put an obsidian rune in slot 3 and whatever skill I put in there, obsidian rune, or am I putting obsidian rune into electrocute and then through 6? That's what it has.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not exactly sure how to get to play around with runes in the build, but here's what I think is going to happen. So you have your 6 slots for active skills, and it's like a little list, and they have little slots for runes that you can throw in there. And so when you put a rune in, it obviously changes the skill somehow. And this is all speculation. I assume if you switch that skill out, the rune will stay with whatever skill you switch it out for a new skill, the little rune slot will be possible. I'm pretty sure you have to go to somebody in town to remove that rune, so you can't do it when you're out there in the world. If you want to put a particular type of rune in instead. That's all I can think of.
That would mean have a ring.
Yep.
Worry about this is that I'm not actually customizing my character. I now have the game and I have every one of them ruined, and all I have to do is hit the key to open up my scope.
access
what
to.
Your
At that
mother's
point, your
secrets
access
are
to
here.
That's right. At that point,
People
your
said she
access
was
to
a witch,
skills is
but I
limited
never
only
believed it.
by your speed of opening up and switching your skills out.
Yeah. Eventually, know what every rune does in every single skill for every class, so that, you know, that's a whatever. But at that point, I would just have you build with the spells because that's my problem with it is I feel what happens. You can have every spell.
That could be very much how it is. That when you go to switch out a skill, the rune stays, but the skill switches. I don't that's how it works. That way. So that's still up in the air.
Obviously, they want to put limitations. How they implement that, pretty much legion. It's still evolving. There are a million different ways they could do it.
Yeah, that's just the build they have right now. That doesn't even get into the build that they want to try out,
I
which
feel
is,
better now.
you know, picking up a blank level 2 rune and then throwing it into the skill, and then it then becomes, you know, rune of splitting. That way you have just a ton of different runes, you know, more than 5. Every rune's gonna do something different when you throw it into the skill, unless it's like the exact same rune. I don't know.
I kind of got the impression that it would still be like, you know, obsidian rune kind of thing. It would be the same effects that we were aware of at the moment, just the assignment to obsidian rune and alabaster rune would happen on that, at
Once you put it in there, okay. That makes sense.
rather than it being more of a sort of random affix suffix kind of like trillion different options.
Yeah.
You'd also only be able to put it in that particular skill for that particular class from that moment. It would be specialized to that way. So in that respect, it would be slightly different than just say a generic obsidian, because obsidian can be used in any skill.
Right.
Yeah,
Be able to swap it out.
It would become a like obsidian rune of magic missile.
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that. So I don't know. I just want to get and play with it. That's all I know.
Or at least have them test these things. Where do I sign?
Yeah, that that proposed rune system, it sounds interesting, but I don't see how they're going to train the player how to use it.
It just seems like it's, I don't know, prolonging like the information. Like it's giving it to you in smaller doses rather than giving it to you all at once and letting you figure it out and deciding what you like. It's kind of like giving you baby steps, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, they said very specifically, you know, you're looking at an obsidian rune, and you highlight it, and it has this huge block of information telling you what it does for every single skill. It's like, well, how do we make this a little bit more accessible to you? It does seem like an odd way to do it.
Yeah, that's what I found right. Like, we had trouble communicating to the player how it works, so here's a system that is even
I think a good like middle ground would to give you a blank rune, and this rune you pop it into a skill, and then it'll tell you what it does to that skill, or you can just like use it and see what it does to the skill, and then you can take it out of that skill, but it'll still keep that property information on it, and then you can pop it into another one, and then boom, it'll add like another block attached to it, and what it does to the new skill that you just put it in. So it's like you're figuring it out over time, but it's not giving you it's the same rune, and then slowly figure out what it does to each skill.
I think they should just flat out stick with the current like color system and just change the tooltip, change the way that you access the information.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that like put it into the skill tooltip, so that it's like, oh, this is this is charged bolt. If you have this kind of rune in it, it does this. If you have this kind of rune in it, it does this. You know, so on and so forth. So it would make the skill tooltips a little bit bigger, but the information would still be easier to parse, because then you get an obsidian rune, and your eye is just looking for, it's like, oh, well, I think I want to put this in charge bolt, because I don't have a skill in, I don't have a rune in there yet. And so you just look at charge bolt obsidian. So you can scan through the information a lot faster.
I think I like the hover
The only
idea,
other
where you pick up the rune, you hover it over the skill, and then it'll tell you what it's doing before you drop it back.
See, now the only reason I don't like that is because I kind of like to know what the runes do for the skill, like, even if I don't have the rune in hand, without having to go to the internet.
That's it.
But then again, if you don't have those runes, it doesn't matter what they do otherwise.
Yeah, I think it's more fun to
Fair enough, yeah.
find it out on your own.
Yeah, you get your game covered over charge, but see what it does, and that's recorded in your turn. Then you can go into like, look at all of your skills that you have. What
Now there's actually a pretty elegant way of doing it.
Yep, making a little journal
and
about
then
it.
you complete your list of this rune. I discovered what it does to charge bolt, and then I click on it, it shows a little like character casting.
That'd be a way to do it, because my original rebuttal to that was, okay, that sounds like a pretty patient playthrough. You don't entirely know when you've got the discovery, but really irritating when it's like,
That would actually be freaking awesome. If once you discover the rune, you put it in a skill, that now goes into the journal. And like it did in StarCraft 2, where you open up your journal, you click on that, you say charge bolt, and you click on that, and it'll play like a little video of what it does. So like you can see the visual implications of it.
Really nice StarCraft 2 when you're upgrading stuff, or you're like upgrading stuff. You're like, well, that sounds cool, but when you see it in action, you can actually see it in action.
Exactly. Those little visuals.
Here's the only other thing we gotta keep in mind. With the system they also want them to be unique. So every time you pick them up, they'll actually have unique characteristics. Attack power. This one might have another stat.
Your mother's
in addition to
secrets are
having the
here.
usual rune effects.
People said she was a
What do you
witch.
guys feel about
I didn't
But I
pick
never
that stuff
believed
up.
it.
I don't like it. Keep that stuff out of my runes. I just want my runes to unlock skills.
yeah, I understand the concept behind, and now I don't think everybody could still have affixes on, or suffixes on runes. You could still have obsidian while using the rune system as we know it, without having to go to blank rune design. But then you run into a problem because now you've got a trillion different kinds of obsidian runes.
Yeah, I don't like it. Searching for that perfect one. Yeah, there is a point where it just goes
obsidian
to
rune level. Well, yeah, no, it's the obsidian rune level 5, or if they go up to 5 level
7.
Well, 7. It's 7. Yeah, so you wouldn't just be scrambling to level 7.
7. Yeah, now you're looking for level 7.
Exactly.
So it's like,
It gets too
kill me
much.
in my.
I mean, I know they love the randomization.
I
I
feel
love the
better now.
randomization in gear. But at some point, I do think there needs to be something.
You guys keep
I
talking
never
over
thought
each
I'd
other,
see that.
and then you stop at the same time. Oh, it's too much.
I'm talking when it's empty. There must probably a delay.
Yeah, there is. Anyway, I don't know. I still got some.
There's so much customization.
Vengeance!
No more, please, no more.
Just don't feel like that. You're min maxing at that point.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's
no.
possible.
That's how it is with skill points. I mean, you add a skill point system in, everybody's going to the internet to find out what the ideal skill point system is for the build you're going for. I mean, it singles stuff out into builds rather than opening the door to experimentation. Because you get in the mentality of, do I really want to put the skill point in the skill? Or maybe I want to save it for something else that sounds better.
The min-maxing aspect would only be if you had one stat. Then you're just trying to get the highest of that stat, as opposed to, having a thing that has life or having
Well, no, I like how the runes all do different stuff. I don't like this addition. I need a level 7 obsidian rune that has 25 attack power instead of 24 attack power.
Yeah. That stuff they're not doing with the
That's what
current build.
min-maxing.
Oh, I see. That's what you're saying about the min-max stuff. Yeah, I don't like that stuff either. And they don't have that in the game rune system that they have implemented right now. That's just an idea for the randomized rune system that they're toying around with. To be very clear.
I mean, theoretically, you could remove the entire min-maxing idea by saying, okay, this will add 25 attack power if it adds attack power. If it adds another stat, it'll only add, say, 15 of that stat. And you'd never actually run into that problem. It's just they would have some kind of variability as far as the side effect.
I don't like it.
Well, you'd still be able to use enhancement to slowly, if you found the one with the stat you're looking for, you'd still be able to use enhancement to slowly creep it up to the value you're looking for.
Right.
But I think just even the whole, we already have so many gear slots and so many little things that we're twiggling with, then going like, okay, I need a level 7 obsidian rune of the bear.
Plus, that seems like that seems like a job for the talisman, which they said we didn't get a system we were happy with, so it sounds like an expansion thing. So it sounds
right. That's actually exactly what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Is Talisman isn't going to make it into the original release.
Yeah.
So
Oh, how about that?
because they weren't happy with the system and they want to do it right to where they are happy with it. So sounds like an expansion thing to them.
What was that thing even supposed to do? Something with your
Charms. It was
stats?
supposed to manage your charms for you. It was supposed to be a dedicated
charms,
inventory
yay.
for charms.
that's right.
Terms are gay.
Yeah, they found that it
Charms are
didn't
lame.
actually solve any of the problems that they had with charms, so they just were like, eh.
I hate charms. The problem they have with charms is that charms exist. That's the problem. Just let's not have charms, and then we don't need to worry about them.
They don't exist technically.
Good. Hey, problem solved. There we go. It sounds like the talisman working perfectly then.
Alrighty. Any other things we need to cover for this show? Any other questions, comments, concerns? No? Yes?
I think that's about it.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Not that I can think of.
Cool.
Game's getting close.
It is. Beta's getting close. Sucks we won't be able to play with runes, though. But you win some, you lose some. Gotta save something for the end product.
Well,
Playing the Diablo 2 beta, anything would be an improvement really, because all you got in the Diablo 2 open beta was town, the Bloodmoor, the Den of Evil, all the way up to the Blood Raven. That was it.
Oh.
There was literally nothing else. You maxed out at level 20. You could only play the Barbarian. You only got the first couple skills, and that was it.
That's...
And the thing was, it was so crowded and everything that people were actually trading perfect gems by finding gem shrines and upgrading chip gems. It was the craziest thing you have ever seen.
See, and
We
I foresee the same thing happening again. Like, people will have, someone in the beta for Diablo 3 will have a level 13 gem.
Ooh, that's bold. Bold statement.
That would only be assuming that gem
The-
shrine something to that
The
effect.
community, it surprises and terrifies me at times. So I am not going to underestimate someone's dedication to a beta.
Oh, one little thing I should note, there were shrines in-game. I actually ran up on a couple shrines that increased my magic find and gold find.
awesome.
For small time.
See, if Magic Find is in the game, that's how I'd be okay with it.
I also had a couple items that had magic find on them. Like like 4% or something.
Ah, balls. Well, so what you're telling me is now there's going to be Magic Find gear?
Yes, it looks like it.
I'm going to have a set for Magic Find. That's what you're telling me.
No.
I thought they were trying to avoid that.
I
I'm
switched.
now upset.
I think it was gloves that I had, and I had one that increased attack speed and one that had like 4% to magic find, and I was like, screw that, dude, I'm taking attack speed because firing arrows at, 5% faster is dope. And it was. It was actually a significant amount too, like you could visually tell it was more arrows going out at a faster rate.
Yeah, as long as the magic
I believe
find
how
doesn't
they
exceed
fixed the
those
magic
numbers,
find
that should be
issue.
fine.
Like, I think how they fixed it was just keeping it within a set range, so like you can cap out, and there aren't items that are like hiding off of the top end of the loot table. They also don't have. They said they've gone to lengths to avoid having like, oh well, this boss drops this item.
Yeah. Yep.
No, that's every Diablo game. I mean, that would be, crazy if they started doing that.
Think we're done for the show?
Yep.
I think we've got it covered.
I think so too.
Feels like it.
So, I'm going to be on vacation for about a week and a half. So, any questions, comments, concerns, leave them on the blog, YouTube, email, any way you see fit. Facebook, and I'll get to them when I get back. And we'll go over all of it in the next show. Anything we missed, any like fixes to what we say Blizzard puts out, we'll be sure and include it in the next show. So for now, say goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
We'll see you all next time on the World Stone Keep.